Hello, and welcome to the Region 20 softball tournament. I'm Brad Strauss here today announcing both games. As in game one today, we have the 1 seed Potomac State taking on the 4 seed Frederick. Potomac State's going to have home field advantage throughout the final 2 games of this tournament, if they were to advance today, with a 36-4 record along with a 15-1 record in division. Frederick walks in today after winning 2 out of 3 against Cecil College to make the semifinals of this tournament. 13-22 overall with 11-7 division record. As a team, Potomac State can put runs on the board. In 40 games played this year, they have 102 home runs and a team batting average of .463.
Leading off for Frederick in the first, the shortstop, number 15, Joel Staub.
The shortstop, Joel Staub, will lead us off here for Frederick. Frederick as a team bats .347. Let's see if Staub can get them going here early as we start off here in the top half of the first of game one. That pitch going to be taken for ball 1. On deck is number 4, Leo Klein, the center fielder for Frederick. That ball swung on and fouled off. Potomac State saw Frederick twice this season with a 12-4 win and a 13-2 win in 2 outings. Let's see how they fare today. That ball swung on. That's going to be a pop fly to the shortstop, and the play is going to be made, and that's going to be out number 1. Number 4, Leo Klein, the center fielder, now due up. One of our players to watch today as she's batting .455 on the year. Along with a .455 batting average, she has 29 RBIs on the year. Let's see if she can get the scoring going early here for a Frederick team that's probably going to have to put up runs if they want to win this game today. As that first pitch could be taken for a strike. The pitcher on the mound for Potomac, Chloe Grise, number 24, delivers for strike 2 as she gets ahead 0-2 in this count. Chloe has a 1.29 ERA on the year with an outstanding 202 strikeouts. With the 1-2 count here, let's see if she can add to that total, as this is best on best. That pitch can be swung on and hit back up the middle, and that's going to be single as Leo Klein gets on for Frederick as she improves that .455 batting average.
Batting third, the first baseman, number 14, Brianna DeHoff.
Number 14, the first baseman, Brianna DeHoff, due up here. That pitch going to be taken high for a ball. The 1-0. That pitch going to be high and taken for a ball as she falls behind 2-0. That pitch taken, and that's going to be ball 3 as she falls behind 3-0. can suspect a red light here early in the top half of the first. That pitch going to be taken down the middle for a strike. Now that she's seen one, let's see if Chloe gives her a pitch that she likes here. 3-1. Look to be aggressive here. That pitch taken for a strike, and she's off stealing the second, and she's going to slide in safely at second and call time as Leo Klein steals a bag and gives Frederick an early runner in scoring position. Brianna DeHoff with a 3-2 count here and runner in scoring position. Let's see if she can capitalize after getting ahead 3-0. That's swung on, and that's a strikeout, as that's Chloe's first of the game. And going to be strikeout 203 on the year. The third baseman, number 10, Caitlin Murphy, now due up here. Here with an early opportunity with a runner on. That first pitch taken for a strike. That pitch high, taken for a ball. The 1-1. That pitch high and taken for a ball. Frederick patient in the box early here, making Chloe give him a pitch that they like. 2-1. Let's see if she does so. That pitch going to be inside and taken for a ball as they get ahead 3-1 again. And that's going to be ball 4 as Frederick now finds themselves with 2 runners on here with 2 outs early in the top half of the first.
Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 6, Reagan Miller.
Number 6, the second baseman, Reagan Miller, now due up here and tasked with a big opportunity here for Frederick with 2 runners on. Let's see if the Cougars can capitalize. First pitch swung on and missed. Grise looking to get ahead in these counts. That pitch is going to be swung on and missed, and that's going to be strike 2. As Miller's now fell behind 0-2, can probably suspect an off-speed pitch here, something potentially low and away to try to get her chasing here. Here comes the 0-2. And that's going to be a strike 3 as she freezes her. As Potomac State's able to get out of it. Score remains 0-0 as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. Stay with us here on the CCBC YouTube channel. Welcome back here to the CCBC broadcast. We head to the bottom half of the first inning as this dangerous Potomac State offense looks to get going here. That first pitch taken outside for a ball. Alondra Siddock, the pitcher in flex today for Frederick. Center fielder Eva Ochoa due up for. Eva's batting .436 along with 45 stolen bags this season. Not someone you want on the base paths if you're Frederick as she gets ahead 2-0. The 2-0 pitch high, take it for a ball. .3-0 here. The 3-0, take it for a strike. Eva showed bunt but pulled back. Will probably look to be aggressive here as she was able to get in a hitter's count. Here comes the 3-1. That swung on and fouled off. Right back to me here as the count now moves full. As Siddock's done a great job fighting back in this count after falling behind 3-0 to a dangerous hitter. Let's see if she has a put-away pitch here. And that's going to be swung on and missed, and that's going to be a strikeout. First batter is retired. So that's going to be the first out of the bottom half of the first inning as shortstop Lindsay Mowry due up here. That first pitch outside to take it for a ball. Lindsay's batting .580 with 16 home runs on the year, along with 68 RBIs. Someone who's dangerous as the second hitter in the order, especially along with Eva's speed in the leadoff spot. Was huge for Frederick to get one down. That ball's going to be a pop fly to the first baseman, and that's going to be out number 2. As that's 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom half of the first. As 22 shortstop Jamie Kelly due up here. Kelly leading their team in home runs with 22 along with 76 RBIs. Has great power to get this ball out. That ball swung on and hit back up the middle as that's going to be a first pitch swing, and that's going to be a single with 2 outs here for Potomac State. As she looks to get her team fired up here in the bottom half of the first. That first pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. Number 21 catcher Braylee Corbin due up here. Batting .492 along with 20 home runs and 70 RBIs on the year. Their top half of the order as dangerous as it gets. See if Frederick can get through it. That's going to be a pop fly to the second baseman, and that play is going to be made as that's going to be out 3. Through 1, it's 0-0. Stick with us here on the CCBC Catonsville broadcast. Welcome back here to the CCBC broadcast as we head to the top half of the second inning between 1 seed Potomac State and 4 seed Frederick. Brooke Renninger due up here, the designated player. So that first pitch is going to be taken for a strike. That pitch just a tad high and taken for a ball. Chloe, accustomed to going deep into ball games. We'll probably see a good amount of her here in game one. That pitch fouled off. As the count's going to move to 1-2 as she looks to catch up to that pitch. Potomac State technically the home team in this tournament. That's going to be strike 3. As she goes down looking. Froze her with that pitch as that's going to be out number 1, and that's going to be another strikeout to add to the total. We've seen Frederick be a little passive here on pitches, especially in opportunities to protect the plate with 2 strikes. Let's see if they look to be a little more aggressive here as they settle in. Is that pitch going to be a tad high and take it for a ball? Number 1, left fielder Kylie Hull due up here, one of the players to watch. As a freshman, she's batting .402. As that's going to be swung on and missed. As the count moves to 1-1. That swung on and fouled off the other way as she was able to get a good piece of that. A little behind it though, as Frederick's hitters being patient, but maybe a tad bit behind on some of these pitches. This is going to be 1-2. That's going to be swung on and fouled off as she stays alive. That's going to be swung on, and that's going to be another strikeout, as that's 3 on the day. And that's going to be out number 2. Number 16, the catcher Piper Barnes, due up here for Frederick with 2 outs as she looks to start a 2-out rally, as that pitch is going to hit the inside corner for strike 1. Potomac State just 2-2 this year on neutral sites. They will be listed as the home team throughout this tournament, as I said before, but 24-0 at home this year as the count moves to 0-2. That pitch going to be taken for a ball. It looked close. Frederick continuing to be patient, but maybe a tad passive here. Let's see if she looks to protect on 1-2. That's going to be swung on, and that's going to be missed, and that's striking out the side to get through the top half of the second as we move to the bottom half of the second inning. The score remains 0-0. Stay with us here on the CCBC softball broadcast. Welcome back here to the broadcast as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Ashton Spiker, the first baseman, due up here. Batting .464 on the year along with 18 home runs. That pitch is going to be swung on and hit the other way as it looks to find a gap. And the play is going to be made in center. So that's going to be out number one as the play is made by Leo Klein. She was able to track down that softball.
Right fielder number 27, Skylar Compton.
Skylar Compton, the right fielder, number 27, due up here. That's going to be swung on and fouled off as she was able to jam her inside there. Siddock here for her second inning of pitching. Frederick often throws two arms with Siddock and Haley Justice. It's a good chance you see both arms today. As that pitch could be taken for a ball as the count goes even to 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's going to be swung on and fouled off. As Compton was a little below that pitch, a little under it. Let's see if she can adjust here and drive a pitch through the zone. Here's the 1-2. That pitch could be a little high and outside for ball two as the count goes back to even. The 2-2. That's going to be swung on and hit in the gap. It was able to get down under the third base glove, as that's going to be a single
Second baseman number 13, Cameron.
for Skylar Compton. As number 13, Cam Beck, the second baseman, due up here with a runner on. The ball was just able to get past Caitlin Murphy's glove there on the hot corner. As Cam Beck, who's batting .451 along with 28 stolen bases, is on. They're going to go for a steal, and the play's going to be unable to be made at second as she wasn't able to squeeze it. They appeared to have her, but the throw and catch was unable to be cleanly made as she's going to safely reach second base. Beck showed bunt on that first pitch. Let's see if she shows it again here as the corners creep in. Here comes the 1-0. That's going to be swung on and hit in right field, and that's going to drop right in front of the right fielder. They're going to turn for home, and she's safe as she stands in, and that's going to be an RBI. Compton went from second to home as she turned three and went straight for home and was able to stand up. As that's the first run of the ball game as Potomac State's on the board thanks to the bat of Cam Beck. She has an RBI. Ariana Herrera, the left fielder, number 11, due up here as she takes first pitch for a ball. The 1-1. Shows bunt. Potomac State steals a bag as they now are 90 feet. Or from third. Runner in scoring position at third base. As Potomac State continues to be aggressive on the base paths. The third baseman creep in was unable to cover the bag, so Short had to come up behind and cover. She shows bunt and pulls back as that's going to be a ball, and the count's going to move to 2-1. Shows bunt, lays bunt, unable to convert on bunt, and that's going to be strike 2 as the count moves even. Frederick's infield came crashing down for a potential bunt, but they're going to return as the count moves to 2-2. And she goes back to lock and loaded here. The 2-2. That's going to be swung on, and that's going to be a hit right to Short, and that play is going to be made by the shortstop as the runner at third has to hold. And now here with 2 outs, Frederick looks to get out of it with only giving up 1 run.
Designated player number 41, Shaylee Darlington.
Joelle Staub at short made the play. Shayla Darlington, number 41, due up here as she takes first pitch for a ball. As she's the last batter before the order turns back up to the top of the lineup. Crucial for Frederick to get out of this here. As that pitch could be taken for a ball and she falls behind 2-0. Here. Let's see if she challenges the strike zone, looking to not fall behind 3-0. That pitch going to be taken outside and high for a ball as the count moves 3-0. You can expect the red light here. The 3-0. And that's going to be ball 4 as that's a 4-pitch walk. Now here with 2 outs, runners are on the corners as the top half of the lineup turns back over.
Top of the order, center fielder number 8, Eva Ochoa.
Eva Ochoa, the center fielder, due back up. Was unable to get a hit in the first at-bat in the first inning. But always dangerous. She's got 45 stolen bags. That's going to be swung on. That's going to find a gap. Play it short to first. Unable to be made as she beats it out. She beats out the throw as the ball went past Murphy's glove, but the shortstop made the play, but unable to fire at first. And that's going to be a 2-out RBI. As Lindsay Mowry, the shortstop, due up here with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Mowry looking to add to the 68 RBI season. As there's 2 runners on here with 2 outs. That's going to be swung on and hit down the hot corner, but that's going to be foul. Now she looks to straighten it out, but falls behind 0-1. The 0-1. That's going to be swung on and hit to right field. And the play is going to be made as that's going to be out number 3. Not before 2 runs are scored, though, as we head to the top half of the second inning as Potomac State takes a 2-0 lead. Stay with us here on the CCBC Catonsville YouTube broadcast. Welcome back here as we head to the top half of the third inning. 2-run inning here in the bottom half of the second for Potomac State. Gives them an early 2-0 lead. Ava Jockelson, the right fielder, due up here for Frederick before they turn over the order. That call is going to be swung on and looks to find a gap, but it's unable to find grass as the left fielder makes the play, and that's going to be out number 1.
Top of the order, number 15, shortstop, duel, stop.
Chloe settling in to this ball game on the mound. A first inning base hit, but struck out the side in the second. It's that first pitch, we take it for a ball. We saw early a little bit of potential nerves, maybe getting herself behind in counts. 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. She's done a better job here in the second and third, settling in and getting herself in more favorable counts, as that pitch is going to be fouled off. The 1-1 taking a little outside for ball 2. That's going to be swung on. That's going to be a pop fly. Shortstop calls her off, and the play's going to be made as that's out number 2. Ball potentially got lost in the sun there as the sun's starting to come out. Center fielder Leo Klein, due up here, had a base hit in the first. See if she can look to add to it. She comes into this afternoon's game in this tournament batting .455. The 1-0. That pitch could be taken for a strike. Her stance in the box a little back. Potentially Frederick trying to catch up to the high speeds on the mound there. Maybe sitting a little back in the batter's box here. That pitch going to be taken for a ball as the tie. Stands a little away from the plate too, maybe making sure that she can turn her hips on the inside pitch potentially coming. Two and one pitch, a little high and outside. The count moves to 3-1. The exact count Leo wants to be in. As she looks to give a favorable pitch here, the 3-1. That's going to be swung on, and that's going to be a single as it finds a gap and drops right in front of the right fielder, as that's going to be 2 at-bats and 2 hits for Leo Klein as she once again looks to get the offense going here for Frederick. The second time these batters are seeing this pitcher today, as Brianna DeHoff, the first baseman, due up. Let's see how they do the second time through the order. That's going to be swung on, and that's going to be fouled off. Klein looking for somebody to get her home here as Frederick looks to draw back the 2-run deficit that they gave up in the bottom half of the second. That pitch going to be taken for a ball as the count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's going to be swung on as she chases the pitch going high, and the count moves to 1-2. Potential rise ball there. Now with a 1-2 count and 2 outs and a runner on. Potentially an off-speed pitch to Freezer here. It's going to be low. A great stop made by the catcher. Fired down to first, but unable to pick her off. Braylee Corbin behind the plate there, a catcher for Potomac. Here comes the 2-2. That's going to be swung on and fouled off. She was all over that pitch, but just a little ahead. Speed pitch. Got her a little ahead. And now the count remains 2-2. That's going to be swung on. That's going to be a pop fly. And they may be in foul territory as it goes right behind me. Count remains 2-2 as Frederick continues to fight here. As DeHoff steps back into the box. That's going to be swung on. That's going to be a pop fly. Center field's going to call her off, and that play is going to be made as that's going to be out number 3. Klein with another hit, but Frederick unable to turn it into a run again as we head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Potomac State leading 2-0. Stay with us here on the CCBC YouTube broadcast. Welcome back here to the broadcast as we head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning with Potomac State leading 2-0 here. That first pitch a little high, take it for ball 1. Sidak comes in for her 3rd inning on the mound here as she's been able to get through 2 with 2 given up and 4 hits. That pitch can be swung on and missed. The 3rd baseman, Jamie Kelly, swings at 1 and misses. Count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. The changeup unable to side. Great change in speed from the changeup there. Let's see if she looks to go back to the fastball. She does, as that is a tad outside for ball 3 as the count moves to 3-1. Three-one pitch. That's going to be swung on, and that's going to over the 3rd base glove as that ball was smoked as it finds grass, and that's going to be a leadoff single here in the bottom half of the 3rd.
Catcher number 1, Braylee Corbin.
Braylee Corbin due up here, looking to add to her 20 home run, 70 RBI season. As she looks to add an RBI here in this double elimination softball tournament, as that pitch can be taken for a strike. The 0-1. That all-speed pitch she was able to wait on, but not able to get it out, as that catch is going to be made in left field, as that's going to be out number 1. It's the second time this inning we've seen
First baseman number 9, Ashton.
Siddock use the off-speed. Be a fly out and out number 1 here, as Kelly remains at first, as Ashton Spiker due up. That ball's going to be smoked and hit back up the middle, and now runners here on first and second.
Right fielder number 27, Skylar Compton.
Skylar Compton, the right fielder, here with a golden opportunity with runners on first and second, potentially looking to expand this lead and give their defense and pitcher a good cushion here in the bottom half of the third. That's going to be swung on and missed as she takes a first pitch hack at it. The 0-1, she shows bunt, drops bunt, unable to get it. Play at third, and caught stealing at third, as Piper Barnes makes a great throw down at third base, and Murphy applies the tag. But a scoring position opportunity here. 2 pitch. Dribbles to home plate for ball 1 as she looked to throw another off-speed pitch. If you're Frederick, defense coming up huge to generate another out. Have to get out of this with 2 strikes. They're going to say that that ball was foul as it just shifted left before going over the base. It was a close one down the hot corner, and the count remains 1-2 as she pulls it and was ahead of it. Siddock needs her put-away pitch here as they look to get out of this inning unscathed. The 1-2. And that's the changeup again. Compton waits on it just a little bit, but couldn't wait all the way as she fouls it off and pulls it again ahead of it. The pitch on the previous, so she tried to throw a changeup. Here comes the 1-2. Let's see if she tries to blow one by her here. The 1-2 pitch. That's going to be outside, taken for a ball. Catcher unable to make the squeeze. As now there's a runner on third here with 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Potomac looks to add to their 2. That's going to be a little outside. Count now moves full at 3-2. As you got to here. The 3-2. Swung on, hit to third to first, and the play is going to be made as that's out number 3 as Murphy makes the play on the hot corner. Frederick gets out of it. So there's a lot of traffic on the base paths as we move to the top half of the 4th inning. Potomac State still leads 2-0. Stay with us here on the CCBC softball tournament broadcast. third baseman, number 10, Caitlin Murphy, who made the play to end the bottom half of the third, due up here first. As that pitch can be taken for a ball. Chloe Grisey back on the mound here for her fourth inning. And she's going to fall behind 2-0 here. That's going to be swung on and fouled off as she gets under it as that goes back behind us here. As the count moves to 2-1. That ball swung on and popped up. The play going to be made at first as she calls everybody.
Second baseman, number 6, Reagan Miller.
That going to be swung on and fouled off as she was ahead of it. It's Reagan Miller, the second baseman, starts us off. Reached for that one a little bit and was ahead of it. See if she can straighten it out. Is that pitch going to be a little low and take it even? The 1-1 outside. That pitch could be swung on and missed. The count moves even. Once again ahead of it as it blows by her. Swung on, fouled off. Back behind us again. The 2-2, all-speed pitch, unable to get her there as it stays high and the count moves to 3-2. Tried to freeze her there with the off-speed pitch. Just a tad high as it's unable to drop. And here comes the 3-2. That's going to be swung on, hit to right field. Play's going to be made. Here.
Designated player, number 19, Brooke Renninger.
Number 19, designated player, Brooke Renninger. Now 2 up here. 2 hits for Frederick here through 3 2/3, both from Leo Klein. The Cougars going to have to find offensive production from other bats in the lineup here as they face a 2-run deficit. Despite that pitch taken for a strike, his count moves even. Despite only 2 runs, Potomac State, has been busy on the base pass. Frederick's done a good job only limiting it to a 2-run deficit as they need to start putting hits together here. That's going to be swung on. That's going to be a pop fly. Usually the catcher's ball as she looked to find it, but third, I think, called her off. Just a miscommunication as the ball drops in between them. And now here with 2 strikes. Still not out of this inning. Let's see if the Cougars can make them pay for the mental mistake. The 1-2. That's going to be swung on and fouled off back behind us again. Continuing to get under some of these pitches, undercutting them as the balls go up and over. Let's see if they can straighten out and put a bat on ball here and get some of these in play. That's going to be swung on. That's going to be in play to second, as that's going to be out number 3 as she's able to throw her out. We move here to the bottom half of the 4th inning as Potomac State still leads 2-0. Stay with us here on the CCBC Catonsville softball tournament broadcast. Here we go as we're back here in the bottom half of the 4th inning as Potomac State looks to add to their 2-run lead. Second baseman Cameron Beck, number 13, due up here, had an RBI earlier in this ball game. Let's see if she can start us off as that pitch is going to be low and take it for a ball. She looks to kickstart this Potomac State offense here in the bottom half of the 4th. Sidak doing a good job through 3, coming out for her 4th inning on the mound. That's going to be swung on. That might find grass. It won't, as that play is going to be made in left field. Kylie Hull, the left fielder, able to make the play. As Frederick continues to do a great job in the field to help out their pitcher, Ariana Herrera, the left fielder for Potomac State, due up here. That's going to be swung on and fouled off. This game 1 today of the semifinals is one seed Potomac State is leading 2-0 on the 4 seed Frederick. Game 2 starts at 4:30 as 2 seed College of Southern Maryland takes on 3 seed CCBC Catonsville. The 1-1. That's going to be swung on and fouled off here. And she's just a little late on that. She looks to straighten it out here. The 1-2. That's going to be swung on and just tipped as she's able to stay alive at 1-2. She was just a tad over top of it. The 1-2. Dribbler as the off-speed pitch comes out of her hand. Wrong. This is a Potomac State offense that through 40 games has 102 long balls. Frederick's done a good job keeping it in the ballpark here. See if they can continue to do so with the 2-2. And that's going to be swung on and missed, as that's going to be out number 2. As Shayla Darlington, the designated player, due up here before they turn to the top half of the order. Two outs, crucial for Frederick to get out here with no 2-out base runners before turning to the top half of the order. That pitch could be outside, take it for a ball. Frederick's done a good job attacking the middle part of this batting order. Potomac State. That's going to be swung on. That ball's deep. That ball's gone as Potomac State takes a 3-0 lead off the bat of Shayla Darlington, as that's their 103rd long ball of the year as a team, as they all meet at home plate. I had mentioned that Frederick was doing a good job keeping it in the ballpark. I might have jinxed them, as that's a 3-0 lead here now in the bottom half of the fourth for Potomac. We move to the top half of the order here. Eva Ochua, the center fielder, due up here with 2 outs as they look to continue this 2-out rally. It was important for Frederick to get out of this inning clean so that their bats can look to get alive as that first pitch take it for a strike. Turns out the announcer's jinx is a real thing. Here, the 0-1. That's going to be swung on and missed. So that's going to be strike 2. Batting .436 coming in today. Eva's not an easy person to sit down with 3 pitches, but let's see if they do. That's going to be fouled off. She stays alive. The 0-2. That's going to be swung on and hit to third. Play's going to be made by Murphy to first, and that's going to be out number 3. Not before Potomac State adds.
In the fourth for Potomac State. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left. We played 4 complete.
It was an illegal pitch.
They're going to say that it was an illegal pitch. As she returns, it's going to be 1 ball, 2 strike.
Ball, 2 strikes.
The illegal pitch keeps the inning alive here. Let's see if Potomac can capitalize. This is not the offense you want to give multiple chances to. Here comes the 1-2 as she looks to get her out again. The changeup unable to clip the bottom right corner of the zone. As the count now all of a sudden moves even at 2-2. 2-2. They're going to say she didn't go, and they're going to call that a ball as the count now moves full at 3-2. Frederick has to continue to stay focused here and get this final out here. Couple unfortunate events here with 2 outs in this inning. Have to flush it here as now with 3-2 they have a chance to get out. The 3-2 pitch. That's going to be pop fly. Short's going to call her off, and that play is going to be made right by the second base bags. That's going to be out 3. As we now move to the top half of the 5th inning, but not before Potomac State adds 1 run off a solo shot from Shayla Darlington. Stay with us here on the CCBC Catonsville Tournament broadcast.
Hall.
Welcome back here to the top half of the fifth as Kaylee Hall, 2 coming into the day, starts us off as that first pitch can be taken for a strike. Chloe continues her dominance on the mound as she steps out for a potential 5th inning here. Bottom half due up here in the 5th as they look to cause a little bit of traffic on the base paths and turn it to the top half of the order as they face a 3-run deficit now as Potomac hit a solo shot in the bottom half of the 4th. That's going to be swung on and fouled off as she stays alive as pitch ran inside late, jammed her a little bit. Now here 0-2, maybe expect something away. Maybe an off-speed pitch getting her chase. The pitch will be outside, and Chloe points to herself as that one got away from her a little bit, but count moves to 1-2 as she's still ahead. That pitch taken for a ball. The count moves to 2-2. The 2-2 swung on and fouled off as they jam her inside again, but she's able to fight it off. The 2-2. That's going to be swung on and fouled off. Continuing to just stay alive here as she's a little late. Trying to get her hands in on these pitches and get the bat around as she's challenged in the inner part of the strike zone. Now here with 2-2. That's going to be swung on and fouled off as it goes right back here. That pitch going to be swung on and missed, and that's going to be a strikeout as she adds another to her tally, and that's going to be out number 1 as the first batter is retired. That pitch going to be inside, take it for a ball as catcher Piper Barnes takes pitch 1 for a ball. Shows bunt, lays bunt, and is unable to put it down in play as now count moves to 1-1. The 1-1. She went around, and that's going to be strike 2. As that pitch fooled her a little bit there. Now 1-2. Chloe looking again for another strikeout here. The 1-2 swung on, hit the center field, and the play is going to be made as the ball found a glove. And now here with 2 outs.
Right fielder number 12, Ava Yakelson.
Ava Yakelson, the right fielder, due up. 80 pitches and 6 strikeouts for Chloe here today through 4 2/3. Is that first pitch going to be taken for a strike? The 0-1 swung on, pop fly. As that lands in a parent's chair here right next to me. The count now moves to 0-2. A lot of pitches high and behind us, undercut. That's going to be swung on. And that's going to dribble foul as the count remains 0-2. Chloe putting herself in positions that she wants to be in, ahead in counts, able to throw her sequence of pitches here, continuing to stay in control in the driver's seat here as she looks for one more put-away pitch. That pitch can be swung on as it's golfed and finds some grass. Ava Jockelson does a great job golfing that pitch a little bit, going down and getting it, and is able to put the ball in play as Frederick looks to capitalize here with 2 outs and a base runner as they move to the top half of the order as Joelle Staub, the shortstop, now with a critical at-bat here in the 5th. As Frederick desperately needs base runner. She's going to show bunt and pull back. Steal. And she's out of there as they throw her out at second. Frederick trying to be aggressive, getting a runner in scoring position, but she's thrown out and caught stealing at second, as that's going to be out number 3 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Potomac State still leads 3-0. Stay with us here on the CCBC tournament broadcast. Welcome back as we move to the bottom half of the 5th. Lindsay Mowery, the shortstop, number 10, due up first here. Batting .580 coming into the day. Looking to add to the stat sheet here in game 1 of these semifinals as that pitch is outside and taken for a ball. Siddock returns for her 5th inning pitching, as she continues to deal. As Potomac State's lethal offense has only put up 3 runs. The 1-0, that's going to be outside and taken for ball 2. That pitch could be taken for a ball as that's going to be high. And as she looks to find it here, as fallen behind 3-0 on the first batter. Looking to avoid the 4th pitch walk, as that's going to be a strike. The first at bat walk is never the way a team wants to start an inning here. She looks 3-1 to challenge her again in the strike zone. She does. That ball's driven. That ball might be gone. That ball is gone as it sits right next to the flag, as that's going to be a solo shot. She was able to get ahead 3-0 in the count. And with a 3-1 pitch having to challenge the strike zone, she took one out. As that's her 6th home run and 69th RBI of the year.
Third baseman number 22, Jamie Kelly.
As Potomac now with another solo shot in back-to-back innings, now adds one more to their cushion here in the bottom half of the 5th as they lead 4-0. That ball's going to be swung on and fouled. That pitch taken for a ball as the count moves even at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's going to be swung on and missed. As Kelly, the third baseman, takes a hack at it. Batting .485 coming into today, along with the team leading 22 home runs. As she maybe looks to join in on the party of solo shots here with the 1-2 pitch. The all-speed pitch, unable to wait on it. She drove that ball, but just a little ahead of it as she pulls it. As we've seen Siddock do a good job mixing in that changeup, throw off speeds. As Potomac's been unable to wait on it. As the count now remains 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Little outside, take it for a ball as the count moves even. .104 home runs on the season now for this Potomac State offense. The 2-2, that's going to be swung on and fouled off as she stays alive. In 2 games against Frederick this year, they put up 12 and 13 runs. Cougars have done a better job, at least up to this point, at slowing down this Potomac State offense, but are going to have to put up runs if they want to win. Frederick put a total of 6 runs up in 2 games and the 2 meetings this season. That's going to be a check swing, and that's going to be strike 3. As they say, she went around, and that's going to be out number 1, as that's a K for Siddock.
Catcher number 21, Braylee Corbin.
Braylee Corbin due up here. That first pitch taken for a strike. The changeup swung on. She waited for it this time. Ball was at the warning track. Left fielder was unable to make the play, as that's going to be a stand-up double. Braylee Corbin able to sit on that changeup, as she has a stand-up double. The left fielder unable to make the play for Frederick as she was going to the warning track, disturbed a little bit by the wall. Kylie Hull unable to make the play there in deep left. Now here Potomac looks to capitalize.
For Potomac State, running at second base, number 23, Hannah Alt.
Hannah Alt, pinch runner at second base, going to provide a little more speed on the base paths for Potomac. Number 9, Ashton Spiker, the first baseman. Now with a runner in scoring position, looks to add to this already 1-run 5th inning. A couple times through the order, These batters have seen Siddock as they start to settle in, maybe get a little comfortable here. The 1-0 swung on and fouled down the first base line. Spiker averaging .464 batting average as she swings on the other way. Down the third base line, the left fielder makes the play in foul territory. Potomac tags from second to third. Bang, bang play down at third. But she gets in safely. Skylar Compton due up here with 2 outs. As she has a runner in scoring position opportunity here. That's going to be swung on and hit deep right center. That ball's gone. As that's going to be a 2-run shot. As Potomac State's offense is starting to pour it on here. And that's going to be a 6-0 lead here for Potomac State. As Skylar Compton, the right fielder, drives one and right center for a 2-run shot just over the wall. As I believe that's going to conclude Siddock's day on the mound. They're going to take a timeout for the new pitcher. We're going to take one with you. Stay with us here on the CCBC tournament broadcast.
Second baseman, number 13, Cameron Beck.
Welcome back. As here with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 5th. Haley Justice comes in for relief. They usually use a 2-pitcher rotation for the most part throughout the year. Justice has a 7.92 ERA. A sophomore, as that count is going to move even to 1-1. Second baseman Cam Beck looks to welcome her to the ball game with a potential base hit here with 2 outs. The 1-1, she's going to show bunt, lay bunt, unable to keep it fair. As that would have been the exact low roller she needed to potentially beat one out. As now here with 1 ball and 2 strikes, she's got to pull back and load up to make a swing here and protect the plate. The 1-2. The movement away. Runs out to the strike zone as the count moves to 2-2. The 2-2 swung on, pop fly. Short calls are off, and that play is going to be made as that's out number 3 as Justice comes in and gets him out of it, but not before Potomac.
3 runs, 3 hits for Potomac State.
On 3 hits this inning as Potomac State takes a 6-0 lead as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. Stay with us here on the CCBC tournament broadcast. Welcome back here to the top half of the 6th inning of Game 1 of the semifinals as Frederick faces a 6-0 deficit and desperately needs base hits here. And that might start him off as that's going to be caught at short. Leo Klein looked for her 3rd hit of the day, but Potomac steals one as the shortstop's able to make the play over the head. Lindsay Mowry able to make the play there at short as she makes a snowball catch there. And now here with 1 out, first pitch can be taken for a strike as Brianna DeHoff, the first baseman, this is Leo Klein, and that's going to be her 3rd base hit. My apologies. Joelle Staub, the shortstop, had the bloop out to start the inning, and Leo Klein now 3 for 3 as she has a single here with 1 out as she continues to do her part and spark plugging this offense is Brianna DeHoff, now the first baseman, due up. The single back up the middle, ricocheted off the base, and the second baseman was unable to make the play. That pitch taken for a strike. The hit from Leo Klein, continuing to make the first out of the inning even more important play is Frederick right now could potentially having 2 runners on. That's going to be a pop fly to deep center, shallow center, and that play's going to be made as she charges in and makes the play. And that's going to be out number 2.
Third baseman number 10,
Caitlin Murphy, the third baseman, due up here with 2 outs as Chloe looks to get through her 6th quickly. Is that pitch going to be inside? Frederick's offense has only put together 4 hits so far through 5 2/3, 3 off the bat of Leo Klein, who came into today batting .455. That average is going to go up after today, but that's not what's important as her team faces a 6-run deficit here in the top half of the 6th with 2 outs. The 2-0, little high. I think the third base coach might have gave her the green light here on 3-0. Frederick looking to put together a run. And now here with runners on first, Reagan Miller, the second baseman.
baseman number 6, Reagan Miller.
runner in scoring position opportunity. It may be the first of this ball game for Frederick. That pitch going to be swung on and missed. As Chloe looks to get through 6 clean with no runs given up. The 0-1. That swung on, golfed a little bit. Right field's charging in. The play's going to be made at second, and that's going to be out number 3. As Potomac State's able to get out of it. We move to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Potomac State still leading 6-0. Stay with us here on the CCBC broadcast. Welcome back here to the CCBC broadcast as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. And Ariana Herrera, the left fielder, starts us off. She's going to show bunt. She's going to drop bunt. Pitcher charges, throws. And they're going to say that she was unable to beat it out as the first baseman makes the stretch and the catch. And that's going to be out number 1 here. Haley Justice did a great job charging on that bunt and able to make the play at first. So that's going to return the first batter of this inning. Number 41, Shayla Darlington, steps back into the batter's box. Had a solo shot in her last at-bat. See if she can add to that success here. As that are retired from the pitcher, helping herself out here as
Center fielder number 8, top of the order, Eva Ochoa.
as Justice looks to continue to keep this lead at only 6 in relief. As she looks to give her offense a chance here as they're going to have 3 outs here to make up the difference as that pitch is going to be taken for a ball. Eva showed bunt, but pulled back for ball 1. The 1-0. That pitch taken for a ball as she gets ahead 2-0. Batting .436 coming in to today's contest. That's going to be a bunt. It's going to bounce off home plate. Be a foul ball. This count moves to 2-1. Eva looking to use that speed on the base pass to potentially lay down a bunt and then maybe advance. 45 stolen bags this year. More than capable as that pitch is going to be low and taken for a ball as the count moves to 3-1. That pitch freezes her and is taken for a strike, potentially an off speed, and the count moves full at 3-2 here. The 3-2 swung on, jammed her inside. It's going to go foul, and the play's going to be made at third as Murphy makes the catch. As we move to the top half of the 7th inning, The Cougars have 3 outs and 6 runs to draw back as Potomac State leads 6-0. Stay with us here on the CCBC tournament broadcast. Welcome back here to the CCBC broadcast as we enter the final 3 outs here as Frederick looks to draw back a 6-run deficit. Potomac State making a couple of defensive adjustments here as number 19, Lacey Miller, will come in and take first base. Ashton Spiker will move to center, and Eva will move to left. So that first pitch can be taken for a ball. I mentioned at the start of this game that we'd probably see a lot of Chloe Crusay, and she comes in here for her 7th and final inning, trying to have a complete game, no runs given up performance in the semifinals of this tournament. As that pitch can be taken for a strike on the foul ball as she tries to lay down a bunt. Brooke Renninger fouls it off, and the count moves to 1-2 as Frederick desperately needs base runners here. That ball's going to be swung on and fouled off. Count's going to move to 1-2. The 1-2 swung on and fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Chloe with 95 pitches looks to finish this game off, and that's going to be a strike. Does that boost her total to 209 in the strikeout? That ball swung. That pitch outside, take it for a ball. That ball swung on, and the ball's going to drop. And she's going to get in there safely as Frederick gets a much-needed base runner as it drops in over the head. And now here, catcher Piper Barnes looks to keep the momentum going as that first pitch is swung on and tipped and fouled. The 1-1 swung on, pop fly. That ball swung on and tipped as she stays alive. Frederick only 5 hits today look to string together a couple as they face a 6-run deficit. The 0-2 swung on, hit the third to second, unable to make the play. She's unable to squeeze it. As that's going to be an error on the second baseman. And first reaches on a fielder's choice. Off the air, and here we go. Frederick maybe catching the break they potentially needed here with a runner in scoring position and runners on first and second with one out. Jockelson, the right fielder, shows bunt, pulls back. Is that pitch low, taken for a ball. Potomac looked to turn 2 on that previous play, but unable to squeeze at second. Now here, 1-1. Swung on, popped the other way. Play going to be made at short. That's going to be out number 2 as Potomac State's 1 out away from reaching the championship game. Frederick will get the top of the order here with a chance to stay alive as Joel Staub, the shortstop, is due up. That ball high and taken for ball 1. The 1-0. Little outside, taken for a ball as she gets ahead 2-0. A favorable pitch probably incoming. As Chloe's got to challenge the strike zone here. That's going to be swung on and fouled off. Two-one. Below for ball 3. It looked close, but unable. Here, as once again, Joel looks to be aggressive. On, straight to center field, and the play's made, as that's going to be out number 3. They'll win as Potomac State wins 6-0 here in Game 1 of this semifinals as they advance to the finals. Excuse me. Off the bat of as Chloe Gries completes. Stay with us here as Game 2 between College of Southern Maryland and CCBC Catonsville starts around 4:30.